Hey guys, how you doing? This is Jeff, aka Delpernies, and this is Guild Wars 2 Beta, or at least my first look at it. Obviously, you guys know last week there was a beta, and so I made some frat videos. Now this is Delpernies, the Mesmer class, or the game prefers to call him a profession. So here's the world. I'm just outside the major city here, and I think the graphics are pretty interesting. I think they work very well. One of the first things that I noticed about the game, which I like a lot, is that your spells or abilities vary widely depending upon the types of weapons you have. Right now I have a sword and a gun. Now if I had a staff or a wand or a two-handed sword, there would be completely different skill sets. This helps you a lot with you're developing your own character or personalizing your character dependent upon the type of playstyle you choose. I ended up really liking the two-handed sword, but I've seen Mesmers with two guns. I've seen Mesmers with two-handed swords. I've seen Mesmers with staffs and wands. It really all depends upon how you like to play. The one thing that the Mesmer class does is it uses deception to defeat its opponents, and it also produces a lot of clones, I guess would be the way I could describe it. And these clones actually help fight on your behalf for a short period of time. But I don't want to talk too much. I want you guys to basically get a feel for the game and kind of make your own decisions based upon what you see. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. I'm going to post them on my Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to ask any questions you want. I really like the game so far. I think the graphics really work. I like the music. Has kind of a Tchaikovsky feel. And I'm going to be walking to the major city here, and I'll do a little bit more talking once we get there.
And do their job.
Alright, we're in the major city here. This is basically the Stormwind for the humans. Every race guesser has their big major city. One thing I want to apologize about the lag. There's a zillion people playing, so and I just went with this. I just went with what I had. I didn't really mess with my computer too much with the settings. So yeah, so just I guess you just have to deal with it, I guess. As you can see up here, I'm going to go into a waypoint, and these are right here, and that beam light that went down. Anyways, those are kind of like the graveyards, and I believe you can use them for fast traveling too, but I didn't get too far into it. I wanted to walk around, but as you can see, it's pretty impressive. The city's absolutely massive. I mean, there's multi levels to it, and you know, there's not too much that's just backdrop. You can pretty much go anywhere you want. So I'm obviously going over here. I'm doing a quest. Everybody has their own little quest, so I'm gonna go fight this guy up here in a little bit.
I'm so tired of hearing about all these bandits. Can we go someplace nicer?
Alona. Haven't heard from them in decades.
Here we go. I'm fighting this guy, and this is get to see the Mesmer class a little bit. And I'm using a two-handed sword instead of what I was using earlier. Now, it's kind of interesting. The more you use the weapons, the more you unlock your skills. See? Because right now I only have access to like 1 and 2 key number, key binds. And then, of course, F1 and F2. These things open up as you develop your character. But as you see, as I'm using my two-handed sword, the number 3 keybind is beginning to become available to me. And this is kind of how you you learn weapons. But as you can see, the Mesmer, I got 2 different people right there. Or it was actually 1. Now it's 1. And this is one of her things that she uses. It's kind of like a mirror image. And she kind of always has a mirror image going on as you fight. So now I have 2 characters. And as you see, I'm going to develop another one here in a minute. And it's all up fight for your, they all fight on your behalf. Now, every other class has different abilities. I'm sorry I didn't make any other videos for any other classes. But, maybe next time. Now here's later on in the game. This is basically the last video I made before beta ended. As you can see, I have different clothing. I have the Soul Calibur sword. Well, I mean, that's not what they call it, but that's what it looks like. And I'm in a monastery right now, and and everybody has their own story line. So you have the story. Obviously, the human race has a story, but you have your own personal story. And her personal story is her sister died in a battle, and so she's trying to figure out what happened. And as you can see, I got better gear, which is kind of interesting because the better the gear for a woman, the more clothes she has on, as opposed to like World of Warcraft, where the better the gear, the less clothes you have on. So I don't know, depending how your age and preferences, whether you would like that or not. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, I gotta go talk to this guy upstairs, and you get to see how they do the storyline, which is pretty interesting. And one other thing, this is what they call an instance. Now you can come in here and do this with friends if you want, but a lot of times this is kind of like what we have like in World of Warcraft, the phasing. So they do a lot of phasing, but it looks like it's for each individual character. But I also want to apologize about all the World of Warcraft references, but I've been playing WoW for about 5 years, so I kind of go with what I know. But this is interesting. You'll see it. This is the storyline. This is how they get a lot of the story out to each individual.
You must be the hero Thackeray warned me about. He says you're investigating the Falcons. That true?
Yes. Captain Thackeray said you'd help me. Have you heard anything about centaurs taking prisoners?
Thackeray's been swaddled in the royal court for too long. He's forgotten how rough it is out here. You wasted a trip. Falcon Company is long gone. May Grinth have mercy on their souls. Go home, kid. You're in over...
Centaurs! At the north gate! Get the monks inside! To arms!
Right on schedule. Come on, hero. You're about to learn what it's like outside the city gates. To the north gate! After you. Push them back! I don't want them inside the walls.
I guess we gotta save the day by killing a bunch of centaurs. So here they are attacking the gate. Alright, this part is going to be about the player versus player. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I really got interested in this game, because this game really says that they want to take player versus player seriously. Obviously, there's two types of player versus player in this game so far. Well, actually, just three.
Your enemy took
There is their arena type of player versus player, which I didn't do any. There is their battleground player versus player, which I'm showing you. And there's also world versus world versus world. And I guess every month or so they swap out servers with each other, so you'll be versing different servers. You know, whether it be one server or the other. And in that server versus server, it's pretty much, you know, you go up there with whatever gear you have and you go fight and do what you can do. Here in Battlegrounds and Arena, they put you up to max level, so I'm level 80 right now, and they give you a set of PvP gear. So for people in World of Warcraft, it means that you're not going to go in there with blues and fight a bunch of people with tier 2. Everybody pretty much has equivalent gear set. So obviously that has pros and cons about it. But they really want to focus on balancing around competitive PvP. Now, world versus world, server versus server, you know, that's going to be more along the fun PvP. So you may run into exactly that. You may be there with your blues, and you're going to find some guy with tier 2 and he's going to collaborate. Interesting thing is, now I found that it's pretty competitive. It's pretty, you know, it's pretty fun. It's really a high pace. Like I said, there is no healers per se, so they make up for that by having a downed position. So, anyways, we basically took that guy's health down to 0, so now he's on the ground. And I didn't learn it at this time. But basically, you press the F button and you have a cast bar to kill this guy, and that gives his teammates a time to throw CCs at you, so you can't kill him, and then they can heal him up. He ends up getting killed anyway, but anyway. So here's basically Oh, another thing I noticed about these Battlegrounds is that they also have a lot of ads in the game, and it's kind of like, you know, League of Legends, where you fight the little minions and stuff. They have minions and small bosses in the area to fight. You can get yourself bonuses and things like that.
The chieftain's been slain.
Now these Battlegrounds are basically, it's pretty simple. It's basically like in the Arathi Basin, where you just hold nodes and collect points.
The chieftain's been slain. Do I have to draw you a picture? Hold on to your points. Seize theirs. Do I have to draw you a picture?
Like I said, I want to say again, I'm no professional game, guy, but I'll be willing to answer any questions that you want me to post here, whatever. Safety in numbers. Oh, another thing, there is no factions. Okay, it's blue versus red, and you queue up with your friends or randomly. like obviously right now I'm blue team. You can tell by my gear is blue. But there's a couple times I did PvP and I was all in red, you know, clothes. So I was red. So it's just another interesting fact. No, however, when you play world versus world, it is, you know, your server versus another server. So that could be pretty interesting. Yeah, we're gonna put it on soldier right here. As you can see, I got in the down state there for a minute, and I was able to recover. Oops, can't happen. I found that, well, there you go. I found that the PvP and this game overall, I found it to be a very fun game, and I look forward to it becoming fully mine. Goodbye.